Hi there, this is the video tutorial for Imagining Architecture hand drawing assignment, where we're going to edit two drawings, the two ones that you made in Studio, a pen one and a pencil one. I have mine open here. There's the pen one and the pencil one. I want to reintroduce the Photoshop Workspace to you. At the top here we have drop-down menus. On the left we have the tool palette. Any tool that you press, if you hold down on it, it will give you similar related tools. And any tool that you click has tool modifiers up here, which allow you to be more specific in how you use that tool. Over here on the right is the layer palette. Right now we just have one layer, which you can see here is locked. And the way we're going to edit this image is using adjustment layers, which is this circle here with the line through it on the layers palette. If I hold down on it, I can see the various options for adjustment layers that it gives me. We're going to start with hue and saturation because we want to desaturate the image, make it black and white. So I click that and it brings up the hue and saturation adjustment layer options. I want to take down the saturation all the way down to 0. I can close that dialog box and now I can see I have two layers, the background layer and the hue saturation layer. By clicking this eyeball, I can turn it on and off. I don't see any difference when I turn it on and off because I think it was already a black and white image. But if you've taken a photograph or if the paper that you drew on is yellow, then it's going to have color in it. So that's the first step. The second step is we'll make it another adjustment layer and we're going to use levels. There's two ways of using levels. I'm going to show you one on this hand drawing and the other kind I'll show you on the pen drawing. So the first kind is using the eyedroppers, these eyedroppers here. So you've got white, gray and black. And basically we're telling Photoshop what we want to be white in the image. So if I click the white eyedropper and then I click somewhere in the image that I know I want white, like the background here, that then becomes white. Do the same for black. So I'm going to click the black eyedropper and choose somewhere very dark in the image, like right in here in the finger. And that might be a bit too black. So let's try again. Let's try using the gray one. I think I'm pretty happy with that actually. So we can close that adjustment layer. And I see here I have two adjustment layers and the background. I can turn them off to see what the original image was like. And I can also reduce the opacity. If I think that one is just a little bit too intense, I might reduce its opacity so that it's not quite as contrasty. So that's the first one edited. I'll go ahead and save this now so we can see the two different file types that we're going to use for this. So the first type, I go to File, Save As, and the default is going to be Photoshop. And Photoshop is the file type that retains the layers. So here you can see layers is ticked. I've already named this IA01 with my name, and I will save it. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, and so that file has the various layer information in it. But I also want to save a flattened version of the file which doesn't have layers and which will also then be a smaller file size. So I go File, Save As again, but this time instead of Photoshop, I'm going to drop down and choose JPEG, and JPEG is the flattened version. You can see that layers is unticked now, so you can't have layers in a JPEG. Same name and save. Yes, I will replace it. Okay, and then I'm going to get a dialog box. It's going to say what quality I want it to be. I always keep it at 12 because JPEG already compresses the file, so it's best to keep the file quality up. So, okay, that's good to go. Let's go over then to the pen drawing and we'll do the same thing again. So click the adjustment layer, start with hue saturation, take down the saturation and close that then, and make a new adjustment layer for levels. This time I'm going to do the other way of using levels, which is to slide these triangles. And you can see when I slide this one over, it is making it totally white out, and this one is going to make it totally dark. So what you generally try to do is to make the triangles be at the beginning and end of this curve which is the black and white information content of the drawing. It's going to bring the dark up. Not really working that well, but I can slide the white down. So actually didn't really correspond to the wave. It normally does, but in this case it's not. So I can just do it by eye, sliding these triangles until I'm happy with it visually. Because if it looks right, then it is right generally. So I'm okay with that. And I'll save it again. File, save as. First we'll save it as a JPEG. So I'll give it a name, IA_01 James Rasa pen. Okay. And again, one more time. Oh, it's still saving. File, save as, and this time I'm going to choose JPEG. JPEG and save. Okay, so that's the Photoshop part. It's pretty simple. We're going to learn more Photoshop in the coming weeks. But what I want to do next is to edit it or put it into Google Slides. So I go to my email account. There's my UCD email account, and click this grid of circles here. Go to Slides. And I want to make a new slide. So this is Google Slides is a little bit like, it's very like PowerPoint, but it's free and it's very easy to share. So we're going to use it for sharing information on this course, or share your submissions. So I'm going to change the format of it first because I want to make it A4 portrait. So the first thing I'll do is go to File, Page Setup. Now you can see these are screen formats because it's made for PowerPoint, but we want to make it portrait. So I'm going to use custom, change the units to centimeters, and I know that this says width. So the first one is width. I know that an A4 is 21 centimeters wide and 29.7 centimeters high. Apply. Okay, and now I'm going to get rid of this text to start with because I want to start from scratch. Just a blank page, just like that. And the first thing I'll do is put in the images. So I'm going to go to here, insert image, upload from computer, choose the one I saved. There it is. And I'll position it on the page. Now that looks like it has quite a dark background. I might go in and re-edit that because I would prefer for it to be white on white. Make a new page, so I can right click the slide over here and say duplicate slide. Then I can click the image and I'm going to right click it and say replace image. Replace image, upload from computer, and choose the pen. Okay, so that one's kind of cropped. If I double click it, I can edit the crop, which is these black frames. Okay, and then click the page again, and I'm going to reduce the size so that it fits on the page. And you can see it snaps to when it's in the middle. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the middle, but I think it looks good like that. So that one is really good because it's just a black line on a white page. Not so happy with this one. I'm going to fix it. But first let's put some text. Go to the text box. Gonna use imagine. Always misspell imagining. Imagining architecture. IA01 and drawing. And then I can just click the text box. Control C or Command C, Control V to paste, and I have a second text box, and I put my name. So it's going to be pretty basic graphic design right now, but we can improve that in the next few weeks. That'll be my student number. I don't have a student number, so I'm just going to put in some numbers. And we'll copy that onto the first page as well. Control C or Command C and Control V. Okay, so let's edit. I'm going to edit that image to improve it. Go back to Photoshop, back to here. I'm going to go into the levels layer. So don't click this white box, click this kind of waveline pattern, and I want to make it the whites whiter. Could do the eyedropper, or I could just white it out like that. Then I'm going to file, save as again, and I'm going to go JPEG. Just call this one white. Okay, back to Google. Right click it and replace image, upload from computer. I'm going to choose the whiter one. It's a bit better, it's not amazing. You guys can do better in your own one, but I'm just going to finish this tutorial because I've showed you what I wanted to show you. Except for the last thing is we're going to give the presentation a name. So double click on it, IA. I'll go with my name, James Rossett, and I'm going to share it. So where is share? Over here, share. Type in my email address to send it to me. And let's say can edit, because I might need to put material into your file. And send. So once you've done that, you have finished that assignment. If you want to download a PDF of it, I'll show you how to do that. File, download, PDF. And it will automatically make a PDF which has the same name. Save. Okay, that's all for this assignment, and I'm going to see you on Monday morning.